This is a hopper. Hopper is pretty simple. You put something in it, and where this pipe leads, it'll put it inside. Now most of the time you would have to build a line of hoppers for something to move. This is vanilla Minecraft. It'll move along the hopper line and eventually into the chest. Say this is your situation. You have one hopper here. You want to transport the item from here to this hopper where it will dump it in this chest for storage. Originally, to move items up, you would need to use an item elevator of sorts. And that would be quite helpful, but on this server, there's no need for that. All you have to do is left-click the hopper, click this, click. All you have to do is left-click the hopper, click the sink this hopper, and then left-click whatever hopper you want it to go to. Now items will travel from this hopper to this hopper, and eventually make its way into the chest. Now that's the most helpful feature, is teleporting hoppers. Now this can travel infinite distances. However, both sides have to be loaded. What this means is if we do F3G, we open up our chunk visualizer. So we can see this is one chunk, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After 6 chunks, it will become unloaded and the redstone will no longer work. This means that hoppers won't be able to teleport. So infinite distances is not very realistic unless you have 2 different accounts on the same server, one on either end, on the receiving end and on the output end. But there's more features to these hoppers than just teleporting. If we left click here, we can see that there's the sync hopper, which we've used before. Then we have the hopper information, so our amount per hop, it will be 10 items every 40 ticks, or every 2 seconds it will transport 2 items. Then we have this one, click to filter items. This becomes a bit more complicated and a little bit more interesting. It has a lot more practicality than just teleportation. For an auto sorter, it's quite simple. All we have to do is start with syncing hoppers. So we're going to make, all we have to do is start with syncing hoppers. We're going to sync a line by syncing this one to this one to that one. Pretty simple. Once you're done syncing these hoppers, you're going to realize that when you put an item in, it's going to go to the very last chest. Here's what we've done. Now, with the custom plugin, it looks like this. 3 output hoppers into each chest. But since we synced it, what it should look like, if it were vanilla, would be something like this. It'll travel along the line, and eventually once it reaches the end hopper, it'll dump out. Say we've started a mob farm. This mob farm consists of skeletons, zombies, and for whatever reason you have rabbits. But we're only interested in the rotten flesh and bones. What we're going to do is we're going to go to filter items, and here we have 3 different options. Blacklist will say this item is not allowed here. Void will immediately delete the item, and whitelist will say it's the only item allowed. Now since we're expecting multiple different kinds of drops, we're going to want to use blacklist. So let's start with our rotten flesh. We're going to take 1 piece of rotten flesh, put it in the blacklist area, and then we're going to click sync rejected items to the chest. What we have just done is told the hopper that if zombie flesh come in, it will stop it from continuing down the line and put it into the chest. Same thing here, we want some bones. So we're going to click to filter items, we're going to put a bone in, we're going to click to sync rejected items, and we're going to click the chest. Again, what we've done is now the bone will travel through this hopper to this hopper and then be rejected into the chest. Now, the last chest in any auto sorter, remember auto sorters can be infinite for however many items you want. But in this case, we have to have a trash chest. This prevents overflow and backing up of the hopper system. It is crucial to a functioning auto sorting system. So this chest, we don't sort anything, we leave it open. And now, if we were to put everything into this one hopper, we'll get a chest of rotten flesh, a chest of bone, and rabbit hide and arrows. So again, we have our zombie chest, our bone chest, and then our trash chest. Pretty simple, not too hard. If you have overflow, you can always do 2 lines of auto sorting systems. Just repeat the same as these. So this would be zombie, this would be bone, and this would be trash. This is for if you have a lot of input and very little output. So if we wanted to do an auto sorting system with a auto smelter for a passive mob farm or something like that, we would again sync to reject. And then below the chest we'd probably put a hopper similar to this, probably 2 because you'd get a lot of mob drops from it. We would sync this hopper to this hopper so that the input of meat would hop into this furnace, and all we'd have to do is fuel it with coal, which if you have a wither skeleton farm, you can also sort the coal into the side hopper. And then afterwards we would have another hopper below. We would sync this hopper to yet another sorting system. Well guys, this has been a tutorial on how to use the hopper systems in CursedCraft.